views expressed on this program are not those of intellectualradio.com, its subsidiaries, or sponsors. Encouraging, educating, and empowering you into action. This is Warriors Talk with your host, Lady ReShell.
Hello. Welcome to Warriors Talk with author and founder Lady ReShell, where we move away from awareness towards action. It is Relationship Monday, and our topic for today is how to deal with gaslighting in a relationship. We are live on Intellectual Radio. We just heard from Roman with the drive at 5. Keep it locked right here on Intellectual Radio and allow us to feed your brain. On our last episode of Warriors Talk, we had Doc Michelle, and we talked about bringing awareness to men's health issues. If you miss any episode of Warriors Talk, go over to YouTube, type in Intellectual Radio so that you can stay connected. The quote of the day is, "There's a message in the way a person treats you. Just listen." We are grateful for our sponsors. We have Mary Kay with Gloria Dotson, Allstate with Paula Kelly, and our newest sponsor is MyLeah Simone with Affordable Book Editing Services. And then we have Emanuel C.O.G.I.C with Pastor Michael Richardson, who has a special message for us.
Greetings, I am Pastor Michael Richardson.
And I am First Lady Anastasia Richardson from the Emanuel Church of God in Christ. We're located at 3058 West Van Buren in Chicago, Illinois. We are building upon a solid foundation.
And we're inviting you to join us every Sunday morning on Facebook Live at Emanuel C.O.G.I.C at 10:15 Central Standard Time. And you can also view our videos on our YouTube channel at Emanuel C.O.G.I.C-MR. Once again, this is Pastor Michael Richardson
and First Lady Anastasia Richardson, and we're from the Emanuel Church of God in Christ. We are building upon a solid foundation.
And here are your trending topics for today. According to CNN News, during the 4th of July weekend, as major cities nationwide confront a surge in violent crimes. In New York, where the gun violence has been rising to levels not seen in years, there was 26 victims from 21 shootings on Friday to Sunday, a decrease from the same period last year when 30 people were shot from 25 shootings. In Chicago, after Police Superintendent David Brown raised concerns before the most challenging weekend occurred for police officers, 83 people were shot, including 14 killed in shootings from 6 p.m. Friday to 6 Sunday morning, according to CM review of the preliminary police department in Chicago. The injuries included a 5-year-old girl wounded on Sunday afternoon and a 6-year-old girl shot early Monday morning. Those are your trending topics for today. Joining me is none other than the cancer activist, motivational speaker, and the founder of the Gal Foundation, ReShell Gilmore. Hello, ReShell.
Hello, Lady ReShell. It's another Monday, Relationship Monday. I'm super excited. I'm stoked, ready to go.
I am so excited. I know we took off a Monday. I was celebrating my birthday. So we are back. And again, our topic is how to deal with gaslighting in a relationship. And if you tune in on any form of social media, please like, share the show, invite someone else in on the show that you feel may benefit from this valuable information. So let's talk about gaslighting in a relationship. First, let's just define what gaslighting is so that in case some people don't know, gaslighting is a form of psychological abuse where a person makes one person or a group of people question their sanity, their perceptions, and their realities or memories. So people experience gaslighting, they may feel confused, anxious, and unable to trust themselves. This term actually came from a film back in 1938, 1944. It was a play called Gaslighting, and then the actual film called Gaslight, where a husband was actually manipulating his wife by turning on the gas fuel light in the house, and he was making all these different type of noises, and then she would ask him about it, and he would be like, I ain't hear nothing, and then she would think, she's hallucinating or she's losing her mind. So that's where the term gaslighting came from. All right, Rizal, let's just jump right into how to deal with gaslighting in a relationship. And I know probably many of us probably have been gaslighted. We just didn't know what was going on. We probably thought we was going crazy.
Wow, it's funny because when you approached me with this topic, I had no idea what gaslighting was. And then when I looked it up and read, I said, shoot, sometimes I might have been the gaslighter and other times I might have been the victim. I said, some shape, form, or fashion, it's been around me. I definitely know this. So I've been on both sides of the fence, and I was like, wow, and I had to sit back and think. And then I went a little bit deeper with it, with some examples of it and what they was given. I was like, oh yeah, I did that. Or that happened to me. Either I'm telling, the manipulation of, oh, don't worry about it, knowing that the other person like, no, let me take care of it. Oh my God, I'm just like, yo, this gaslighting. See me, I grew up thought that was the game. But they actually gave it a name. So, okay, gaslighting it is. Yeah, there's a lot of gaslighting going on, because I thought just the example, the definition, what you gave about the husband, that he was there, turned on the fuel, in the house and, wanted to explode or whatever. So I'm like, okay, well, why are we going to talk about that? But now I see Lady ReShell did it again.
Yes, this term right here, I know a lot of people, when they hear some of the things, like you said, they're going to be really surprised. Like when you think back to a person that you've been with, or maybe the person that you're with right now, and you're like, I'm in a gaslight situation, to where, you think that something's going on with your mind, and it really isn't. It's just that person is making you feel that way. So let's talk about the 3 types of gaslighting. Or the 3 types of abuse when it comes to gaslighting. So you have, they would hide stuff from you. You will attempt to change things or change your mind about things, and then they will try to control you. So hiding stuff from you, that would be like the husband when he was hiding the fact that he was doing all of those things. First of all, he was going in the attic and he was making noises, and the wife was like, oh my God, like she really thought she was going insane. So even stuff like they can hide things that they're cheating, or they may have a criminal record. They may try to hide, abusive behavior from you until they actually, you're actually in the relationship, and then now they can really be themselves.
Wow. It's just so funny because it sounds like a scene out of a scary movie. And then at the same time, it almost sounds like another Tyler Perry movie. It's like all of this, surrounding just one subject. I'm quite sure. I know definitely I've been a victim of this, and I've been the gaslighter in these situations. But I guess it's the extremity of how far that people actually took it. What makes it so, like, with a light bulb come on, like, wow, you really going to stand for that? Or that really happened? Some of the stuff, like you said, could be unnoticeable. We don't know until now we bringing it forth to the light so people can understand what gaslighting is. Because without us and without this show, Warriors Talk every Monday, Relationship Mondays, I'm quite sure there's a bunch of people out there who are now going to look when this show is over like, you've been gaslighting me all this time. What's wrong with you? And you're going to be stuck. Yeah, so this show going to get a lot of people in trouble. So thanks to Lady ReShell, she's about to break up a lot of relationships.
Don't blame me. I'm just trying to inform the people. I'm just trying to keep y'all educated. But it's about patterns. It's about patterns. So, if it's like a one-time event, then, don't stress yourself. But if this is a pattern that this person keeps doing this thing to you, then at some point in time, you got to be like, something is not right. Especially if you know that, your mind is sharp and there's no, things going on as far as mental illness or anything like that. then if you start second guessing yourself, then maybe you need to take a step back from the relationship and be like, wait a minute, something is not right. So they're going to attempt to change your mind about certain things because they want you to believe what they believe. So they'll try to change your belief system. Or if y'all having some type of argument, they want you to believe what they say. So they're going to make sure that they're going to present their point to you, and they're going to try to persuade you that, yeah, this is right, and what the other person said is wrong. So if somebody else brings something to them or try to tell you that they did something, then they're going to look at you and say, oh, so you don't believe me? You're going to believe that person? Like, you don't have no loyalty to me? That person's not right. And then you sitting there like, well, maybe they not. Maybe they're not right. So these people, some of them know that they're gaslighting you, and then some people may not know that. If it's not a pattern, they may not know that this is what they're doing. But if it's something that's happening over and over, that person knows what they are doing to you.
Exactly. And I've been in situations, man. Yeah, let's get deep into this conversation because I got some example. My ex, which was 2 girlfriends ago, she was a gaslighter. I hate when women come, if you was a real man, you'd be doing X, Y, and Z. Y'all be gaslighting the mess out of us when y'all start putting it, if you was a real man.
What does that mean? I don't think I ever used it. Hey, Shanera, thank you for tuning in. So I don't know who's using that. If you were a real man, maybe they were trying to get you something. So yeah, that was a form of manipulation because they were trying to get you to do what the other person probably was doing that they had before. So yeah, I totally get that.
Yeah, they try to make you feel bad and guilty, like you're not doing your job. Okay. All right, so is that Walter?
Yes, and Shanera, okay. For those of you who are tuning in, please like, share the show. Again, invite somebody else in on the show so they can get this valuable information. We're talking about how to deal with gaslighting in a relationship. And we just gave you the 3 forms of gaslighting, which are they're hiding something from you, they are attempting to change something about you, or they want to try to control you. So those are the things that they are going to do. If you're having these things happen, like they could tell you, oh, you know what? You look like you need to gain some weight, right? You need to lose some weight. And then you're like, what? Oh, do I look fat? And then like, no, you know what? If you want to lose some weight, that's for you. But I think you would look good if you lost some weight. Then what you trying to do? You trying to lose some weight. So that they done manipulated you into thinking that something was wrong with the way that you was looking when it probably wasn't. It's just that they trying to control you because they want you to look a certain way.
But on the other hand, being that obesity is a form of a disease nowadays, there are some women who can drop a couple pounds and not being mean by saying, hey, maybe, you should lose some weight. Let's go to the gym together. So maybe it's not a manipulation thing or they're trying to gaslight them, but they're actually being concerned about their health and their well-being on that note. We're just going to take it for the latter. I mean, the more prominent one that, they're really thinking positive for that person when it comes to the weight thing.
Okay, Shanera said she went through this so much. Like now she's probably thinking about, okay, yeah, I really have been gaslighted. So let's talk about some of the signs that a gaslighter is abusing you, right? So some of us don't even know. So the first one is withholding information. They will give you just enough information just to pique your curiosity, but they're not gonna give you everything. So now you're trying to gather information because they are not about to have that conversation with you. So that's a form of abuse. It's playing like psychological games with a person.
Oh man, I think I need to go talk to somebody because that's definitely been me. I'm gonna tell you, my ex, she didn't tell me nothing about what I was getting myself into. The bills, nothing. See now, oh man, I'm gonna have to make a phone call. Yeah, okay, yeah. This is some serious mess going on now. Okay, go ahead.
And remember, these are patterns, not just a one-time thing, right? It's patterns. So
yes, she was a pattern person.
The second side that a gaslighter is abusing you is that they're changing information. So again, they're going to give you information to make you doubt yourself. So if you tell them the sky is blue, they're going to be like, nope, the sky is red. And then they're going to give you some facts, not really facts, but their facts to say that the sky is red so that you can change your information and you can think the way that they think. So that's number 2. Kimmy said, gaslighting can turn to be dangerously deadly. Remove yourself quickly from that person. Oh, wow. I agree with you. From the research that I read, I totally agree. MyLeah said, gaslighters be like, it's only because I love you. Girl, that is so true. Okay. So they will say that. They will say things to kind of make you you feel sorry for them, or you think like, oh, something wrong with me because I think this way. But trust me, it's not you. It's not you. Okay, so hold on. Where are we? That was number 2. So number 3 is, get back to my notes. Oh, discounting information. So this may comes like I said before, if it comes from a source that maybe they don't trust, then they're going to discount that information because they don't want you listening to anybody else but them. They want you to be dependent on them for information. So they're going to make sure that whatever information that you're getting, they're going to funnel it from them to you. So if anybody else tells you anything, they're going to discount it.
But you know what? I've been in certain situations where I would tell a woman something and she wouldn't listen to me, but then she'll go to her friend and they'll say the same exact thing. And then they'll listen to them. They'll listen to the friend and not you. But I think that comes as far as like, they don't trust you because no matter how you say it or put it, it's the same thing that I said. So why are you not believing and trusting in me? I'm not trying to get you or manipulate you. So would that be a form of gaslighting, or is that trust issues?
That sounds like trust issues more than gaslighting. Yeah, because the person would be the one to discount what the other person said, but the person that's being so-called gaslighted is actually doing it themselves and going to get the information from someone else. So I would say that would be trust issues in the relationship.
It also could be because you didn't believe what I said. You're making me feel rejected and making me feel what I'm saying or said is wrong. So that could be
gaslighting. Yeah,
that could be a form of gaslighting.
Yeah, I can see that. I can totally see that.
Now you're about to make me go through all my relationships and start thinking about what they said and what they did and picking at people. I might have to, like I said, I might have to make some phone calls.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Okay. Don't do that. Okay. So they'll say things like, you too sensitive. So, y'all have an argument or whatever, and they're going to tell you that you too sensitive. Whatever it is that you're saying, you shouldn't be crying. You shouldn't be arguing your point. They will also say you're insecure. They'll use that a lot. And I know as women, we've heard that so many times when we have maybe had a conversation with our man and they say, you insecure.
But that's the truth, though. I don't think that's the truth when it comes to a lot of women. A lot of women are insecure because they've been through so much. They've been through a lot. So I get it. So
I agree. I think men and women are insecure. I believe that we could be kind of even. I think the women, sometimes we're insecure because we're not getting all of the information that we would like from that person. So since we're not getting that information, it leaves us to be insecure, or the information that we're getting, we probably feel like it's not true information.
But then it also begins to have you begin to become your own psychologist and start putting these thoughts into your head, like, oh, you know what? He couldn't answer the question. I know he out there doing X, Y, and Z. And that's not even the case. But go ahead to the next one.
Don't do that.
Come back to that.
So they'll tell you to stop acting crazy, or you sound crazy. You sound so crazy.
Well, no,
they
that's
just
true.
say stuff like,
That one is true too in most cases.
And they'll say stuff like, I'm joking all the time. Like they'll say stuff to you, but then they'll put I'm joking behind it all the time, but they really are serious. So it could be the weight thing that you need to lose weight. But I'm just joking. You look good the way you are. But then they keep saying it. It's a pattern that they keep saying it. And you know if you're overweight or not. So you know if you need to lose some weight. They'll say, oh, it's no big deal. It's no big deal. Or they'll tell you that you're making it up. You're overreacting. You're dramatic. Or they'll say, that never happened. And then you question yourself.
But what if it did never happen and they are making it up?
Okay.
You woke up from that dream and thought he was with Thomasina, and Thomasina ain't nowhere in the picture. And you just, oh my goodness. Yeah, this is a good topic today. Who's that, Jennifer?
Jasmine says, I always say that it's a lot of seriousness behind when people say, I'm just playing. When they say stuff to you and they say, I'm just playing, sometimes it be stuff behind it. So you gotta be like, I wouldn't say put a lot of thought into it, but if they always do it, just like, okay, something's gotta be up with that.
Not even playing. Listen to a person when they're angry. That's when they tell the truth. Everything comes out when a person is angry.
Or drunk.
Or drunk. You right about that one.
Okay, so we are on number 4, which is verbal abuse, which they use to reduce your self-esteem and again, impose doubt on yourself so that you won't trust yourself. And you may not even think that it's verbal abuse because they're doing it all the time. So you may think, oh, that's just, how sometimes you'll hear a woman say, oh, that's just how he is. It's like, no, he's not supposed to be calling you a B. Oh, that's just how he is. No, that's not right. That's a form of abuse.
Okay. I agree with that. But then you do have some relationships that are, they're like that. And only those people know what they have, from the relationship. But I agree with you that that's a form of abuse. And she's just trying to cover up to make things look like everything is okay, between the two.
It would be one thing. I'm sorry. It would be one thing if we were, it was just us and we were by ourselves and we was calling those terms of endearment. But then when we out in public and you heard, hey, B, go get my plate. No,
that's disrespect at that point. Don't disrespect me in public.
Right. Shanera said, especially when they're drunk. Yes, when they are drunk. Especially when they're drunk. Thank you for the hearts. Is it Latia Wade? Thank you for the hearts. Shanera says, them cover-ups be real. Yes, they do. They be real. It be something really behind it, but they be like, girl, he's just playing. Okay. Number 5, and we're talking about some of the signs that a gaslighter may be abusing you. So number 5 is isolation. So they keep you away from your family and your friends because they want to be able to control you. Again, their goal is to whatever type of information that you're getting is coming from them. They want you to depend totally on them.
That's true. And I had to pause for a minute because I know situations like that. So you're relating so much to things that I've been around, that I've seen, going through, and it's just like, wow, I can't believe it. I mean, I can, but a person got to be willing to want to change or get out of the situation. And a lot of people are just, and I'm just speaking, for about the women at this point. I don't know about the guys, but mama, I love him. He loves me and we're going to be together. But that ain't love if he's putting you through all that hell, disrespecting you, calling out of your name, hitting on you, whatever the case. That's more than just a gaslighter. I'm trying to think of another name. Well, that's some
abuser. That's a domestic violence abuser.
Yeah. I wanted to put it another way, but I this is PG-13.
Don't sugarcoat it. Yeah. You're right. Abuse comes in all forms. So it's not just physical, it's mental. is financial. So there are different ways that, a person can abuse you to where you may not even think that, you're being abused.
Right. But that's all a part of their game, to make sure that they have you right where they want you, in the palm of their web, and you do as they say.
Yep. Shanera say no. Hell no. Latia say yes. Kimmy says verbal abuse can be longer lasting than physical. That's so true. Breaking your soul to make you feel you have no worth and you stick around them. Watch for the signs. It's so important. And
Here's my question, because why is it women will wait, like, let's just say 90 days, we'll just put the 90 days out there to see if this guy is the person for them, but they don't see these signs and they end up in these relationships? How do you end up in these relationships? And I know the guy is putting on the front, but there has to be something. There's an indication or a flag that's saying, hey, I'm really this way, or this is what's going to happen. Because again, no matter how you look at it, whether, y'all get married later on down the line, or y'all end up, all relationships is a risk. All of them is a risk. Bless you.
Thank you. I think, Rizal, that sometimes we see these things, but we don't address them. Like, when you don't address something, then that person may think that, oh, it was okay, I got away with that. So then they keep doing it. So I think, and I'm not saying that, you address every time something little's happening, but if it's bothering you, something that they doing, if it's bothering you, address it. And I'm not saying be all confrontational, like with your finger all in their face, but find a way to talk to that person and say, hey, and then always use the I statements. I feel that when you did that, that hurt me. And I feel that, I don't want this to happen again. I feel that, versus you attacking that person. But a lot of times, Rizal, I think women, we don't address certain things because we feel like we in this honeymoon phase. And in that honeymoon phase, some of them red flags, you just be like, oh, you see it, but you don't address it.
See, wait a minute. Let me pause for a second, because we getting a storm down here, and I see my light is starting to dim at the back of me. Let me just cut the light on real quick. It's getting dark.
All right. If you are just tuning in, we are live on Intellectual Radio, and Rizal and I are talking about how to deal with gaslighting in a relationship.
Yes. Yes. Sometimes signs are there, and women do avoid the signs because they're so, I got me a man finally. This guy here, oh, he's everything what I wanted, not knowing what they're about to get into.
Because they being the gaslighter is manipulating them and filling their heads with these things. I think we jump in so quick because, and I this is just my opinion, I think that comes from not dating. So when you meet somebody, you meet that one person, we tend to focus on that one person while we're still in that dating phase. But if we haven't made a commitment, guess what? I'm still dating. So I think if women did that, I didn't say sleep with, I said dating. So I think if women did that, then they wouldn't be so hung up on that one person. And maybe they would see the red flags because I don't know, this person over here is not doing that. But I think we tend to put all of our eggs in one basket. We focus on that one person. So guess what? I may ignore some red flags because I want this thing to work. I want this to work. So them red flags may be out the window. They may not seem as big while we're in that honeymoon phase.
Well, I was about to say, if you're spending that much time with them, then why aren't you seeing those flags? Because you're around them all the time. You're seeing them, you're talking to them, I guess, allegedly. Why are you not seeing those flags? That should give you even a faster time frame to see the red flags than wait till months on in down the line to realize, oh, that was a flag back there that you just zoomed past. You're doing 60 in the fast lane.
Yes, Latia says even a person that always think they're right in everything, to me, That's so true. That's a form of manipulation. Every time you turn around, every time you say something, whatever you say, they discount it. That's that discount effect. They discount what you say, and it's whatever they say. So at some point, you don't even want to offer your opinion. You just let them talk. And trust me, I've been there. I've been in a relationship to where this person was always right. When I would offer my opinion, they would cut it down. And so I got to a point to where if we was having a conversation, I would never offer my opinion. I just let him talk, and whatever he said was right. I just made him think, okay, you're right. Because whenever I said something, if I offer my opinion, he would cut it down. So I just, in that area, I shut down. And I knew that relationship wasn't for me because it made me stifle myself. And if I got to stifle myself into a relationship to where I'm scared to even, if we're talking about peanut butter and jelly, and I said, oh, I love peanut butter and jelly. It's good. It's nutritious. I'm getting my protein. You said peanut butter and jelly is crap. You shouldn't be eating that. It's a lot of sugar in it. And I'm like, what? And then next thing you know, now I don't even want to eat peanut butter and jelly, maybe not around you, because now you done discounted me trying to be healthy with my peanut butter and jelly. It could be just the little things at the start to where that person can be manipulating you and your thoughts and making you think that everything that you do is not right. Your thoughts that, that's that low self-esteem to where, because you are not around anybody else. And that's our next one is isolation, because you're not around anybody else. Isolated yourself from everybody, that you're not even functioning right, because your mind is not even right because of this.
You're not you, but also I guess the question is, don't ever if you have to offer your opinion and you weren't asked, see, here they go. If you have to offer your opinion and you were never asked for your opinion, never give your opinion. Because women don't realize when a man asks you for your opinion, you don't understand the compliment that he just gave you. Take that and run with it. I just gave you another key to the game right there. When a man asked you for your opinion, he just gave you a compliment that you didn't even realize.
All right. Kimmy says, telling yourself is love. That's so true, Kimmy, because half of the time we don't even know. You don't even know the definition. It's a feeling, but love is really a choice. It's a choice. But we're going off our emotions because as women, we are so emotional. Shanera says, you're right. Manipulation is at an all-time high, and you just got to be healed going into these relationships.
Shanera is on a roll today.
Shanera says, please don't be vulnerable or thirsty. Come on, Shanera. A lot of times, Shanera, as women, and I'm sorry, the women may not like me after this, but a lot of times we are so thirsty. And that thirsty leads to us being vulnerable. It leads to us being vulnerable. So I would say when you're going into these relationships or you're dating, don't go into it thirsty. And then that way you won't, some of those things, these gaslighting things that are happening, you can minimize them happening, because if you're going to a well and you don't have any water and it's hot outside, when you get there, you're going to be thirsty. But if you get there and you got water in your cup, you're okay. You're not running to that well. So a lot of times we be so empty when we go into these relationships. I totally agree with you on that. Shanera, you need to call in and be a part of the show, because
I'm about to say, Shanera trying to be the third host on here.
You might as well come on and get in here. She said, love is definitely a choice, and I'm choosing wisely. See, you know what, Shanera, as you go through these different relationships, these different heartbreaks, you have to be able to think differently, Shanera. So I totally agree with you on that. You have to be able to think and choose wisely moving forward. We should not be making the same mistakes that we made in our 20s and our 30s right now. And I'm 50, I'm 51. So we should not be making the same mistakes. At some point, you should take a step back and realize, okay, you're the common denominator in every relationship that you've been in. So, okay, what happened? Why didn't these relationships work? What happened in these relationships? Especially the ones that, some relationships just, it comes to the end and that's it. Y'all still friends. Y'all, you can talk. Y'all ain't mad at each other. But these relationships that ended on a really bad note, you should be learning a lesson.
And that never should be, because in any relationship, before the relationship, there should have been friendship. So if the relationship doesn't work out, then you can always go back to what you were. And that was being friends. So none of my exes are enemies. I don't dislike any of them. We still talk to this day. Maybe not every day like we was, but we still talk all the time because we were friends beforehand. And I know I dislike the terminology thirsty. What's wrong with being excited about a new possible found love that could be opening up or blossoming for you later on down the line? There's nothing wrong with being excited, but this new day we call now is thirsty. I still don't see nothing wrong with being excited. Hey, I met this beautiful woman today. I'm excited. Like, you know, she gave me her number and I'm full of butterflies and, you know, you giving me butterflies and I'm excited. That's thirsty. That's what thirsty has come to now.
Thirsty would be like you just met this person. Now you done called them about 15 times. You making vacation plans with this person. You done took them to meet your parents. And this is all in the first week of us meeting.
I still don't say that's thirstiness. That's a little, now I think that is moving a little bit too fast, especially meeting the parents and all that, because you don't know exactly where this person is going to line up in your life, if they're even going to be in your life. But now that person there, okay, I like this person. Let me take my time and see where this is going to go. Let me see if there's effort being applied to and backing up to what they're saying and what they're stating. Let me see these different things, these signs. Let me see if they're going to be a fit for me.
Thirsty is not even taking the time to do that. It's whoever approaches you, you go. You don't even weed out the bad ones. You just, all right, so-and-so asked me out. Okay. You just taking whatever comes your way.
I thought I was just moving too fast, but from a man's point of view, that was like, yeah, I got this one in the bag.
Yeah, because y'all date differently. Men, y'all date differently than women, you know. Because men, for y'all get rejected a lot, and y'all just keep going. So if 10 women rejected you on this side of the room, guess what? You going to the other side of the room until somebody say yes. If that happened to a woman, she's just like, oh, shoot, okay, I'm not about to ask anybody else up in this room, nothing, unless you just thirsty.
But then the man become thirsty because you see him talking to this one and that one. But why complain about it? Because you told him no. So is he supposed to stop? Maybe he's on a mission. He's supposed to stop because you said no, and now you like, oh, no. You just thirsty. Nah,
that's why
she's attractive. She's attractive.
It's different for men. It's different. But if a woman went around the room like that, the men would be looking like, what? No, something ain't right. Or they'll be like, yep, that's the easy one right there. MyLeah said, thirsty is that Charlie Wilson song. Hey, girl, how you doing? My name is Charlie. Last name Wilson. He gives you his mama number, his pager number. He gives you everything. Like, okay, Charlie, slow down. Slow down a little bit.
You just want to make sure that you have all his means of contact because he don't want to miss your call.
Just give me one number. I'm not even gonna take your number. I'm not gonna take your number, but I'm gonna give you my number. I'm gonna put the ball in your court.
But sometimes you get women who be like, I'll take your number and I'll call you.
They're not gonna call you. Don't do that.
And they're not gonna call. See, that's some gaslighting stuff right there.
If I don't want to talk to you, then I'd be like,
you gaslight me from the door.
I would say if somebody asked me for my number, I said, oh, I'm married. And they'd be like, you don't wear a ring. We don't wear rings, so I'm married. But so if they really persistent, I'd be like, okay, give me your number. And I'll put it in my phone under do not call. Because sometimes they'll be like, okay, call me right now. And I'll be like, do not answer, right? So, okay. Or I'll give them somebody else's number. You know, I give them my friend name. And now I just be like, no. Just say, you know, don't even. And some people may, you know, you have these people that really, this is probably a point of a fraction of a man that would get mad and be like, want to do something about you not giving them your number. Like most men don't operate like that. If you say no, they may ask you a couple times, but they on to the next. They're not going to hound you or try to hurt you because you're not giving them your number.
But you know, that kind of falls two ways because you also got to think about, you could be missing a good opportunity with this man that you didn't give a chance to know. And then at the same time, you could be dodging a bullet, but you don't know because you didn't take the chance or the risk to find out which one it was, because already from the beginning, you're not being honest with the man because you know you wasn't going to call him and you just taking the number, getting his hopes up high, thinking that, you know, this woman that he thought was a goddess coming from the heavens and everything, that he's going to talk to you and he's going to go all out his way just to make sure that you straight and okay. But we'll never find out now.
You ain't missing out. No. You know how many people that I done passed up and didn't get my number? I am not worried about that I missed out. No, I feel like if it was meant to be, then it would be. Somehow, if it was meant to be, then we're going to find our way to each other. Or I'm going to give you my number and we're going to connect. No. You know how many fools done asked for a number? No. Like,
well, look,
no. I don't encourage you to give your number to everybody. Say that again.
You always see a person twice in your lifetime. So what happens when you see him the second time and he's like, hey, you didn't call me. What happened? You going to do it to him again?
If I'm not feeling you, if I wouldn't, sometimes when you meet somebody, it could be something about them that when you see them, you like, it could be anything. For women, we may be looking at your hair. We may be looking at your beard. We may be looking at your nails to see if they clean. We may look at your shoes. You know, we may look at your teeth. It may be how you smell. It may be how you approach me or what you say to me that makes me want to be like, okay, let me get him my number and see what he's talking about. Then once we have that conversation, if it's not there, it's not there. But you just can't go giving your number out to everybody just because they ask for it. I think it depends on the setting that we're in. Like if we're in a social setting, then I may give it out. But if I'm just on the street, I'm getting out my car, putting my groceries in the car, and you're like, hey, lady, Miss Lady, you sure looking good. Give me your number. Like, hell no, I'm married.
Wait, and I already know we're going to run out of time on this subject, but I had someone, and this was a guy. I heard this directly from this guy. Again, views and opinions on Warriors Talk Radio of me and me alone. But this was another guy. He said, women look for security in men. He could be the most ugliest man or unattractive man that there is. But as long as he can secure her and make sure she's feel, secure, and there's low self-esteem, and he just knows how to pick them. He picks them out. So he only goes for the insecure and the women who just need security. That's all women want is security, nothing else.
I don't think you have to have low self-esteem to want security. I think security that's one of the things that women look for in relationships. Like, when we're not home with our parents, our fathers makes us feel secure. So yeah, we want to feel secure. It doesn't mean that my self-esteem is low because I want a man to make me feel secure. Sometimes we tell you that, oh, baby, you make me feel secure. Baby, I feel so secure when I'm around you. And most of the time, if somebody jump out, we in the front, like, you better go on, get away from him. It's like, and you back there like, yeah, baby, you better tell him. So I think that's just an innate thing with women feeling secure. I don't think it has anything to do with our self-esteem.
But I put that because I think that right there is part of what we're talking about the gaslight, because he can control their minds with women who have low self-esteem.
True.
And women who are, who need that security, like they need that blanket. I understand that women need a little bit security. They want to feel safe with you. But ones who just totally depend on you for it, oh yeah, they just like gunning for punishment from this guy.
I think you have to get to that point though. I think when you first get in a relationship, this guy, first of all, he's love bombing you. So we'll do a show on love bombing. He's love bombing you, first of all, when you first get in a relationship. You're like, oh my God, I think I done found the one. He's taking you out, he's buying you things, he's telling you how you look, how he feels, like he's love bombing you. As soon as you let your guard down, boom, he's gaslighting you the whole time. So I think with women, and I'm not saying to have your guards up all the time, but I'm saying to just be aware. Sometimes you got to have other male friends that you can run stuff by and say, hey, this is what this guy said. And I'm not saying somebody who wants to date you or something like that, but even if you run it by your brothers, but sometimes you may not want to do your brothers because they love you. And, so you want to run it by a guy friend that, that's going to tell you the truth, and you run by what this other guy is telling you and what he's doing. And that guy's going to be like, no, and he'll tell you, do this and see what he does. And so we don't have to be in this alone. You don't have to be isolated when you're in relationships. And I'm not saying playing a game by going to ask this other guy, but for advice on this relationship. But ladies, sometimes you just gotta call stuff out. And if it ain't there, sometimes you just gotta be willing to walk away. Realizing that, he may not come after you, and oh well, so what? But you got to be willing to say, you know what, this ain't worth my health. This is not worth my mental health. This is not worth my low self-esteem, just to have this person, doing these things to me, and my people looking at me like I'm crazy. When you get around your people, because he really don't want you around your people. But when you are around your people, people, they pretty much stand away from you because he's there. So most of the time, I'm just going to say, women, we are some smart creatures, and most of the time we know when people are manipulating us, and sometimes we accept it because of that person. Like, who said it? Latia said that. She said about us, oh, we think about this love thing, like, oh, I'm in love, it's the love thing. It's your emotions. It's not even love, it's your emotions. Remove the emotions out of it. Remove the emotions. Remove the sex, and then what you got? You probably couldn't even stand that person. Like, no. So as women, we have to speak up, and we have to step up for ourselves when it comes to relationships. A lot of times things are happening, because we allow it to happen. We allow it to happen. Don't be afraid to speak up. Don't feel like you can't get anybody. There's so many men out here in the world. So many men. You can go to the grocery store. You can go to the gas station. You can be at the laundromat. I mean, it's so many men out here in the world that, if that one person want to act crazy, then, don't be afraid to walk away, for your own sanity.
But that's the issue. It's so many men, but how do you find the right man?
Stop looking for
the issue. That's what the issue that a lot of women are struggling, because they're trying to just find that one man, that one person that you can grow with, build with, lay the foundation with. You need to figure, for me, and again, these are my view. I need to find a woman where, how are we going to make each happy? How are we going to make each other happy still for the rest of our lives? When I look at you, I want to look at you like it was the first time me seeing you, and I was just blown away. Even if you had rollers or curlers, it had to be something. And I think one of the things that we said on here was about the change, that he's trying to change you. If I have to change anything about you, you're not the one for me. So that right there alone, I'm not trying to change you, and I don't need you trying to change me. You either got to love me or leave me alone.
I think that, like I said, it's so many men out here that women, we don't really have to. Some people say it's a men shortage. It's really not. It's a shortage of good quality men, yeah. But it's men out here, and sometimes what we're looking for, when you said the right man, sometimes our expectations be so, crazy and off the board that, we will, when certain men come around, we be like, yeah, he's not cute enough. No, he's not tall enough. His job, he's not making enough money. Instead of really sitting down to say, okay, let me see how our worlds can match. Let me see, like, for me, the most important thing for me right now at 51, and I have kids, especially I have girls that are, they're teenagers, and then I have a girl that's 9. So the most important thing for me is to have that covering from a man. Like, I'm not looking for you to be their daddy because they have one. I'm looking for a man that's going to be a covering over them, and sometimes you have people that don't want to be bothered with your kids. They know you have kids and they don't want to be bothered. And sometimes you have people that want to touch your kids. So, as women, we have to be really careful when it comes to, as you would say, finding that right one. And sometimes you're looking for all of these things that really don't exist. And sometimes women will wait it out. Women will wait it out. They'll have a maintenance person, but they will wait it out.
Okay, let's try to fill any more on the list, because we got into a whole nother thing. I told you we're gonna run out of time. What else on the list?
Yeah, the list for gaslighting, if you know that you are being abused, would be withholding information, changing information, discounting information, verbal abuse, and being isolated. Now, some of the symptoms of a person that has been in a gaslight situation would be your relationships would be, you would be dissatisfied in your relationships. It would increase your self-doubt. you would become overly apologetic. So with this person, you always apologizing for stuff that it could be little stuff, because you don't want to make that person mad. You can be, it says forgetfulness because you're stressed out because of the situation, and then you codependent on this person because now they have it so you can't even function without them. So what you can do to prevent gaslighting is to surround yourself with family and friends. Let them know what's going on. Don't be afraid to talk about your truth. And I'm not saying that you have to tell them all of your business, but there should be somebody that you can talk to about your situation, that's going to be able to give you the truth about what's going on.
It's going to happen because every man, woman, they go back to their girlfriend or their family member because, again, they're excited about the person. So they're bragging to them, they're telling them. So something is going to come out, eventually down the line. And depending whether it's brother, sister, friend, foe, whoever, they're going to say, well, here's a sign here. I don't know about this because I went through it, or there's this, no, ain't no man going to do this, or no woman's going to do that, or whatever the case. Because honestly, I think everybody's been gaslighted, whether they would have liked her or the liked. Yes. Either way, we've all gone through it. So we know the game. We know, especially at me and your age, we know the game. We know, that they're souping us up. They're putting gas in our tank. So it's this younger generation, man. This younger generation is just.
So here are some ways that you can heal from gaslighting. Take a break from relationships. You ain't always got to be in a relationship. Sometimes you just need to be by yourself for a while and heal. Cut off contact with that person. Do not allow them to have access to you. And the third one is don't be afraid to grieve. Grieve and move on. All right, Rizal, give me some words of wisdom as it relates to how to deal with gaslighting in the relationship.
I say just find the person you love and love the person that you're with. Can't get no better than that. You just focus on that one person, continuously making them happy, continuously, if you know, y'all can grow.
All right. Thank you for those words of wisdom, Rizal. So I will leave you with these words of wisdom. Stop denying the little voice inside of you. Join me next Monday right here on Intellectual Radio at 6 p.m. As always, thank you for tuning in to Warriors Talk with author and founder Lady ReShell and Rizal Gilmore, a.k.a. The Biz. With Warriors Talk, we are changing lives one warrior at a time.
Thank you for listening to this week's edition of Warriors Talk with Lady ReShell. To find out more about Warriors Talk, follow at Warriors Talk, the number 1, on all social media outlets, and Warriors Talk with Lady ReShell on YouTube. Please join us next week and every Monday evening at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time on intellectualradio.com for Warriors Talk with Lady ReShell, where we encourage, educate, and empower you into action.